We're recording right now. You know that?
No, we're not.
Ladies and gentlemen across the galaxy, we are live from Padme's bedroom.
Okay, you're recording now. Okay, let's
We're recording now, ladies and gentlemen. We have a lot of fun to do today with Mobile Gamer right above me. High five. What we're going to do today is do our weekly roundup while we battle up against the Resistance versus First Order. We're going to flip it. I have First Order, the newer First Order team. We want to showcase what they're looking like right now, then compare it to the Resistance. And we're going to talk about future Galactic Legends events because it looks like the developers are going to want to do more Galactic Legends, light versus dark, ticket system, mini raids. It's been a crazy week, man. It's been how's your heart? Is your heart handling all this news?
I'm having a different approach to it. We'll talk about it in the video, but I'm actually think I'm going to be okay with this. I don't think it's going to change, for me not actively going after these characters, like I'm not going to spend money on it. It's just I've decided, right?
I'm spending money, but I'm not enjoying it. I got to make vids. It's like, oh man, this is getting extremely, this is the most, I mean, if you're someone that wants to get this right away, it is going to be extremely expensive, and I don't want to do the math just yet until once we get the characters. But yeah, your approach is the approach that the average person probably should be taking, is that just go at your own pace. You'll get it one way or another, and whether it's going to be a couple months. Like, how long do you think you're going to be waiting? We know the latest requirements are require Relic 7 Scavenger Ray, Relic 7 Kylo Ren. How long is it going to take you? And you're kind of you're a lesser whale, if that's a word to say.
Well, I've like when I have like a clear path to a character and the character is going to cost X amount of dollars, it's fine. Right now, this is so convoluted and confusing, and plus we don't have all the information. There's no value. I don't know what the kit is. I don't know what the total requirement is going to be. There's no point in doing anything right now. And I mean, if there's definitely people that are going to buy everything no matter what, and they're going to go for it. And I think from what I'm hearing, that they're okay with this. They're actually kind of glad that it's difficult and challenging.
Yeah, there's a lot of Cubs had an interesting video. I'm in the guild that's got a lot of whales, and I know some other whales out there. Whales in general, or actually maybe Ultra Krakens, they're actually kind of happy with the requirements. They like the challenge. They like that they're going to get that head start. They'll get a head because it's one of those big events that has a great character, and it's going to take a while for the average person to get to. So people who like to spend money, this is actually pretty good for me. You should check out Cubs Fan Han's video. There's it's an interesting little bit. Requirements are just they're definitely absurd. I think people are upset firstly because we don't have the rest of the requirements. And we know that everything's going to require relics now. They're backtracking on that whole comment that not everything will require relics, which kind of broke my heart a little bit there. And then I think the other problem is we don't have the kit reveal like you said, and on top of it, we know that it's just. I'm surprised they haven't done a kit reveal yet. It's like people are spending all this money, they don't know what we're getting into, and the words of Lando, the deal gets worse. It keeps getting worse all the time because now we know that there's this ticket system, and we kind of talked about the ticket system, you and I here before the video, and once I explained it to you, you're like, oh, so it's gonna take me 8 more months to unlock him, right?
Well, and I think that's the thing is, I think there's a couple things. Like for me, it's like if this takes a long time, fine, right?
Yeah.
It's like I don't think anybody I'm playing against is going to be going for this right away. And if I am playing against people that I'll give you an example. So like inside of my Grand Arena, when I come up across without a doubt like insanely challenging Grievous teams, and that's because I'm playing against people that have gas.
Yeah.
Right? It's like if you have gas, you have an amazing separatist droids, right? So so that causes me to work on my JKR, right?
Right. Yeah.
So if I'm playing against people that have both of these Galactic Legends characters, that means they're going to have fully relicked out of their minds Resistance and First Order, which is not like an optimal team.
No,
really.
Not right now. I mean, the better team, I think, as we're showing here. Do you feel the Resistance, the current Jedi training Resistance and the current Kylo Ren, considering the new Resistance heroes and the new First Order stuff? I mean, those characters are all right. You can form a pretty good team out of these guys, but the rest of the requirements, that seems like it's just inflating your roster unnecessarily.
I think what it is that in the levels that I'm playing at, most people I'm only playing against maybe 2 complete relic teams, maybe 4 partially relic teams. Like right now, like in my division, I'm coming up against fully relic Padmes, fully relic Gas, fully relic Separatist droids, fully relic, Sith Empire, right? So it's like 4 fully relic teams, but I'm not coming up against 16 relic teams. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so when I'm coming up against maybe 5 total relic teams, and if the people that are going to have these 2 characters, they're going to have 2 more fully relic teams. It's going to be the these teams right here, First Order and Resistance, right?
Yep.
And so if I'm playing in a division where the numbers only allow for 5 fully relic teams, I'd rather be playing against these teams right here than a Padme or a Gas. You know what I mean? That's fine with me. So I don't think it's going to affect my matchmaking. I really don't think it's going to. People that are going to go hard for these events are probably going to be at a disadvantage against me until they actually get the characters.
Is that if you go all in on Scav Ray, the Resistance Pilot, Resistance Trooper, and we don't even know if all these characters are going to be worthwhile in the end, you're inflating your roster. And it's just useless Gear 13s.
If it's relic for relic, right, in my division, right, relic for relic, and you have a relic First Order Stormtrooper or a relic First Order or pilot or Resistance pilot, right?
Yeah.
Versus my Echo, or against my Ahsoka or my or my Sith, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Against my fall. How does that work? You know what I mean? Where you've reliced Resistance pilot and I've reliced. You know what I mean? And so they're taking them 1 for 1 in matchmaking, right? And someone we know went out and reliced, Gamorrean Guard and Visas Mar.
Oh, gosh.
And I just don't know how that works. I mean, I've heard, but I haven't really watched a lot of it, but I can't imagine that's good for matchmaking.
While we play some random holdo footage in the background, by the way, this is an unmodded Rebel team. I just kind of want to show the capital ship, the Radis, get its ultimate off here. But while we let this play in the background, before we talk about the Radis, the ticket system. Yesterday, or 2 days ago at this point, we're going to get, we got some information about apparently a ticket system coming in with this whole thing. The first thing that came to my mind was the mini raids that they kept saying in Q&A posts they want to make happen. Is this what they're getting at? Are they wanting to turn this into a mini raid where you got to basically use energy, do a special game mode, pour tickets, and then you only have 1 attempt, and then if you mess up the attempt, you got to get the tickets all over again, and then you only get a couple shards at a time? What's going through your mind? Do you think this doesn't seem like a traditional legendary event like we're used to?
Well, okay, so the fun or the unfun of the legendary events, depending on how you looked at it, is sometimes it was RNG grindy, right?
Yeah.
And you talked about spending 12 hours with Ewoks. What was the event where we were in opposite rooms from each other? We were, when I was back in Chicago, what was that event?
That was the C-3PO event. That was
C-3PO event. Yeah, I knocked it. I had
you got
like
it done
30,
in 30 minutes. I was up. You went to sleep.
Yeah, I would just
everything.
Sleep,
it was a miserable night.
We were like, it was like the event started like 2 in the morning or midnight or something, but we were up you were up until morning, right?
Yeah.
And okay, so some people I think don't like that. Okay, fine. I mean, I think you and I kind of like it. I mean, I remember the Malik event being grindy too.
Oh yeah, I stayed up a long time too. That I was late for work that day because I was doing the Malik event for 8 hours.
So I mean, if it's gonna be like that, are you gonna be willing to RNG it if you don't know you're gonna win, right? So it's gonna be like, well, there's gonna be 10 videos on YouTube showing how to beat it, and it's like, are you ready or you're not ready? I kind of like that. Isn't that kind of interesting, though?
It is.
I mean, think about it.
There's a lot of pros and cons to it all. One, it's probably unhealthy for people to do the event like 20 hours straight. So that's one thing. Secondly, I guess it kind of forces you to kind of go all in, make sure you don't undergear your characters, because the whole point of what you said, kind of going in, praying to the RNGs, is trying to go in at the bare minimums and just hoping eventually something just starts falling in place. You don't have to keep gearing more, keep doing whatever, keep upgrading abilities. I think this is meant to stop that, because we've been seeing over time, Capital Games have been trying to slowly stop people from cheesing it. we started seeing that with the Malik event, where you have to have, or maybe Darth, and you have to have a certain. No, it was the Malik event. You needed a minimum power threshold, but people would still try to cheese and do gear 11 with the Zeta and gold or some solid mods.
I think the power threshold more was of an anti-hacking mechanism than anything
Maybe
else.
that. I mean, you could definitely say that too. I mean, this Galactic Legends, you could say it's anti-hacking as well, because you can't hack. You need to have the minimum requirements. But it could
you can't hack relics. I promise you. There's no way of hacking
but even
relics
like the
in this
territory
game.
battles, you need a minimum power threshold for the special mission. So this might be their way of saying, all right, well, we don't want the power threshold wasn't our intended design. We want to take it a step further, and you have to have these minimum relics. So I think it's gonna force people to kind of, you have to go all in on these characters basically. And hopefully these minimums they're asking us to do, that's gonna be enough to use your tickets, do the event, and be done with it. It'd be crazy if you have to Relic 7 First Order Stormtrooper, because Relic 5 might not be enough or something. I don't know how difficult this event's going to be.
And I just say, I'm fully expecting a greater easing of the purple gears and to make relics more relevant. I mean, pretty much right now, other than cryotechs, I'm always going to say it wrong. Other than cryotechs and stun guns, they really have eased up on most of the gear.
I think also part of it is because you and I are focusing a lot on gear 12 to gear 13 and what's not really needed anymore, stun guns and carbantes really. So you just over time you just start accumulating those. So then once you go back and like, oh wait, I have all this stuff that I got hoarded up.
I still have a significant stun gun shortage in my account. It's just like
stun guns, yes, for sure,
stun
100%,
guns, but it's like, okay, but I'm expecting them to loosen that up. Just like, here's a bunch of stun guns.
They keep
have to
saying they're going to add some sort of new tier to the challenges or whatever at some point. I have no idea when that's going to happen. So last thing real quick before we wrap up, we might actually carry this conversation more over on Mobile Gamers channel. The developers said in that post that we talked about the tickets and whatnot, that they are going to start releasing more Galactic Legends in the future. This is not going to be a one-time deal. They're going to keep doing it, and they're going to always do a light and dark. Or they said their goal is to always release a light side Galactic Republic and dark side at the same time. Real quick, pick something from the prequels and original trilogy. If they're going to do Galactic Legends original trilogy, what's the light, what's the dark, and how should people wail hard for that?
Come on, we've talked. Everybody knows the light side. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Jedi Luke. Come on.
Watch, they're gonna release like poor Galactic Legends or something.
Okay, so I really like this idea. First of all,
I love the idea. Once it's a lot to chew with the requirements, but it is kind of cool.
But if they do it once a year, what do I care, right? You know, like I mean, if they do it once a year, something crazy. You know, green lightsaber Luke. You know, black outfit.
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi Luke. Okay. So I don't know. We were looking for Darth Vader variants. I don't see a variant in Darth Vader costumes. I don't know how they could do that. I kind of see the silver on his chest plate. Yeah. But there is some more predominant silver Darth Vader outfits, and I don't know the variation or what they could call it. But if they could come out with a different variation of Darth Vader for Return of the Jedi and release both, maybe they'll do a maskless Darth Vader.
I was gonna say
Vader
maskless. I was gonna say what they could do is
eyebrow Darth Vader, eyebrow Anakin.
What's it called, singed Vader or something like that. I was gonna say what they did this. You do the Galactic Legends, you have to have requirements and stuff like that. But when you complete the Galactic Legends, it transforms your Vader into like a whole new character. Like I don't know, like
yeah. Because I mean, what if it just like it gives you a token to change his kit?
Yeah, it's a whole different kit.
Vader 2.0. It just converts your Vader into 2.0 Vader.
And it satisfies the one cool thing for Capital Games. They're gonna make money still because they said they can't make money on reworks usually. But with this, you're reworking a character, but you're basically you're forcing people to pay or farm for a long time for Galactic Legends Vader or something like that. So that's something
Vader,
I can see them
Vader
doing.
2.0, Galactic
Vader
Legends
Unleashed or something.
Vader Unleashed, yeah. Rogue One Vader, my God. Just call it Rogue One Vader.
That'd be really cool. And then prequels real quick. I think if they would do prequels, it'd probably be Kenobi versus Anakin or something like that.
Well, yeah. I mean,
that seems kind of obvious.
We still have an opportunity for at least one more Kenobi in the game. At least. Yeah. You know, one more Kenobi. And then
Master Kenobi. Mobile Gamer, we're gonna wrap it up there. Go. Oh my gosh, Mobile Gamer, get in the camera frame. Go. There he is. Okay, oh my gosh, you scared me for a second. Go over to Mobile Gamer's channel. We're gonna do another video over there talking about a lot of weekly roundup news and other types of fun. Mobile Gamer Any last words before we peace out for the day?
Boomer sucks.
Bye.